Hey there, welcome to this new podcast of the Creative Insider, which will be the first one that's also in video form. As you might know, if you have been listening to the podcast, we've been working on this. We're working to transition on the video format too. That doesn't mean that we won't be sharing our content on platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. We're just gonna implement also a video side of it. So some of you might be actually watching this podcast and not only listening to it, especially on our Instagram or on our LinkedIn. So I'm doing this little video and little podcast to explain to you what is going on at the end of the year, because this week, probably the biggest fans of the Creative Insider have noticed that there was no new episode, and this is for a reason, because we have decided that this year the Creative Insider podcast won't go through the holidays weeks for a simple reason. There are many reasons, of course. For everything there is not only one reason. So one of the reasons is because to be honest, it's really difficult to find guests throughout the holidays, because we want everybody that are on the show to have fun, not only the listeners but also the people that are being our guests. So all of them have very tight deadlines, and if you're a creative professional, you'll know yourself that in the end of the year, it's for everybody, it's really, really tight to manage to do anything extra than delivering the latest projects and the last projects for this year, and close everything that they have opened the year, and to go into a holiday where they can spend time with family, friends, dear ones. This year, luckily, we can travel a little bit more. We will be traveling ourselves. We will go visit our family in Italy. And so we wanted to make it easier also for you, and not to feel like that connected to work somehow, because the podcast is very like work oriented, creative oriented, and it's important for everybody to just turn off a little bit, detach from the whole stress of working, hustling, doing projects, feeling, I don't know. And also the podcast, it's made in a way that we interview people that are creatives, and you might be feeling some sort of need to compare yourself to the guests, or to compare your path to their path. So I thought about that, and I thought that it's more important for everybody to be fun, instead of being like extremely consistent for nonsense and do one podcast a week. And we'll be coming back in January, and then we'll start again doing one podcast a week, and the next year will be exciting. We have already some really interesting guests that have confirmed their participation for the next year. I won't unveil you anything. And actually, we have done one very special podcast with one of our guests that have been already on the podcast, and it will be a bonus episode, a special episode in the end of the year. Will come out for sure before Christmas, and will be about exactly this topic, which will be how to control our creative hustle, and how to stay in check and not overwork ourselves to a point where we reach a burnout. This is not productive, because once we reach a burnout point, then we won't be useful for no reason, for our family, for ourselves, for our passion, and then it won't be our passion. And this is why me and Désirée have decided that it's better not to do podcasts throughout the holidays. But there's also good news that we're not doing a podcast. It's not so sad, but for the one that really, really, really want to listen to podcasts and want to listen to content, well, we have done 83 podcasts in the last 1.5 years. And as I said, the goal of this whole current situation with the Creative Insider is that we try to transition more to video, and we're uploading all the past episodes on YouTube. So if you're like newer listener to the podcast, you can just subscribe to our YouTube channel, press the bell, whatever all the YouTubers say, so that you don't miss. Every day we'll be uploading a new podcast. Most of them will be as an audiogram form because, of course, throughout the journey so far, we haven't recorded all the videos, but there are some podcasts that will be video because we actually have also video material. And I'm trying to figure out, learning, and I'm a good point by now. I'm pretty sure to say that in the next few weeks, I'll be able to edit the videos the way I want. And then you'll be able to see some of the podcasts in a video form, which you haven't been able to do so far. So I really suggest you, even if you're like another listener to the podcast, to go on our YouTube channel. You'll find the link in the links of our Instagram page, LinkedIn page, Facebook page, under our podcast on Spotify if you're just listening to the audio, or Apple Podcast, in the description of the video, and you'll find the links to YouTube where you can go. We're now at episode 22, 3, something like that. And you'll be able to subscribe and to listen to the newest episode. Throughout the holidays, we'll be putting out shortcasts, because the shortcasts, as you know, we have decided to do this a little bit of short moments, highlights from our podcast episodes, in order to share with you the highlights of every episode, because we understand that also a long form episode can be very, very difficult to listen from start to bottom, because it's 1.5 hours, and yeah, everybody have busy life. Everybody listens to a lot of podcasts. We listen to other podcasts too. So we try to create these pills of wise creative suggestions from our guests, and deliver them on a daily basis, so that you can have your pill of inspiration for the day, for creativity, to get a little bit of inspiration about your own situation, about your own creative field. And so during the holidays, you won't have new guests on the podcast, but that doesn't mean that you won't have content to consume if you really want to. But my personal suggestion, it's what I'm going to try to do too, is to spend time with my dear ones, with my family, and maybe also try to learn some new skills, or just watch movies, chill a little bit. Because for the ones that have been listening to the podcast for a little longer, they might know that I'm also on a full-time job as an architect here in Frankfurt, Germany. So that's quite exhausting too. And when the whole day is wrapped up, I come back home and I do this stuff like making another video, another podcast, or another interview. So I suggest you to try to recharge the batteries, or at least for part of your holidays, completely detach from work and be focused on your family and on your free time. Or if you want, just learn some new skills, since they consist of something that you've been learning. Probably I'll be doing a little bit of training about video editing, so that I can deliver a good production and better content for the next year and in the next year. And again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's a really easy thing to do, and a really helpful thing for the podcast. This podcast relies only on you guys, so this is what I can tell you, and I can ask you if you really like the content, if you get some value. Just pressing subscribe on a YouTube channel, it's for free, and for us will mean the world, really. And last but not least, we don't want to conclude the year just like that. So last year we were brand new in the field. We were just a few months in, and we just did a little bit of a podcast episode where we sum up what was happening in the first 5-6 months of the podcast. And now we are a year and a half in, so we have more experience, and you guys are way more than you were in the beginning. We've been talking a lot about what we want this podcast to become, what we want this podcast to be, where we want to go, in which direction. And we want to be more a community, like a creative family, like a creative mind pool, creative incubator, where we are not only the ones that are talking to you or talking to our guests, and then you listen to our guests. And then, I don't know, we try to be, we want to lead you, but we want to be also among you. So we want to be in Italy. When I was studying, they said it's like the Roman emperor, which was primus inter pares, which means like the first among the equals. So we want to be that. And what we have been thinking actually to finish the year before the holidays is to organize a little bit of a workshop, let's say. And this workshop, it's called the Creative Kickoff for 2022. And as I said, we want you to go into the holidays and detach a little bit from all the creative activities, but we want to do this little meetup, little bit of workshop where we want you to prepare for the next year, because we know that the beginning of the year is where it's when people try to start new activities, try to start sports again, or try to, be better for the next year. So we want to have a workshop where you can join. There will be an initial session where probably you guys will have the chance, if you want, if you're not shy enough, if you're not shy, to share with us who you are, where you're from, what you do, what you've been thinking about, what you've been passionate about your creative field or another creative field. And that if you have a creative itch, or you want to move to another job, or you want to just be part of a creative community, you still have not clear ideas, but you feel like you want to take action and do something, this is the Creative Kickoff for. So we want to hear from you at what point of your life or career you're now. And we will share with you some of the knowledge that we have gathered through this podcast and through starting this podcast. We'll give you some ideas how to generate ideas for your creative project. It doesn't have to be a podcast, can be something else, can be maybe a different creative business. So we'll share methods or little exercises that we have we didn't know maybe this in the beginning when we started the podcast, but we have learned along the way, and how to brainstorm with yourself, with your mind, and to figure out how to start something new, some new creative idea. And then we'll share what have been our biggest lessons throughout our process of starting this podcast, and what we have done wrong, what we have figured out along the way, what is the right approach, how to stay consistent, because we all know that everybody wants to start something, and the first few days or weeks everything looks fine, looks fun, exciting, and then suddenly we drop it, and maybe it's a little bit also of the a little bit of fear that we're gonna fail, imposter syndrome. So we want to share with you what have been our behaviors, our practices, our approach to stay consistent, because we've done 83 podcasts every week, and a lot of content. And you can, if you want, you can just go back and listen to the first episodes and see how they were in the beginning and how they are now, and how much better we have gotten. I've had to do this exercise by myself because I needed to go back on all the audio versions of the first episodes and put them on YouTube. So I was like, oh my God, what did I do? How bad was it? And and Désirée will be also Désirée will be actually the person that will be the moderator of this whole workshop, because she has a lot of experience with workshops throughout her career as a brand strategist, brand creative. She has moderated a lot of these workshops, and she has helped me with a lot of the exercises throughout journey of this podcast, so I can tell you guys that it's something that's really cool, and it's for free. It's just for our community. So again, you'll find the link. It's the Creative Kickoff 2022. It will be in the description of the video, in the description of the podcast, in the Instagram page at TCI Podcast. And if you go in the bio, you'll find our links, and there you'll find the link also to get a ticket for this one workshop. And also you will be able, yes, as I said, to expose your own ideas and to get to know us, and we'll get to know you. And we'll be really looking forward to get to know you guys, because we can see only just the numbers behind the podcast. We can see where listens are coming from, how many, or Instagram. Yes, we know a lot of the people that are following us, but not all of you. So yeah, it's an occasion to get to know you, and we'll be really looking forward to get to know you. And of course, feel free if you think that some of your friends might want to participate to reshare the link to your friends, to other creatives, or maybe people that are not yet creatives, but they want to become designers, architects, or something that's in that direction. And they're welcome too, and they come and listen and check out what are our points of view, what are our lectures that we have learned the hard way or the easy way. And you'll hear not only experience with the podcast. Désirée, she has worked as a freelancer, so she has also other lessons to give to you. So this is the way we want to finish the year, with this bonus episode I mentioned before. So stay tuned on our channels. You'll find this bonus episode. I won't tell you with who that is. Probably some of you might guess it, but some of you maybe won't have any idea about who I'm talking about. And yeah, I hope to hear from you and see you on our workshop, which will be on Zoom, but you have to go through the links and check out, and you'll figure out how to join us. And if you want to really be a real creative insider, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. It's also a very big way to support the podcast and the community and the platform. And the next year I'm sure will be amazing, and we'll be creating way more content, and we'll have another more and more amazing guests. We're already planning to have some of the guests back on, and now focus on a certain topic, not be broad as so far we've been, but to take their expertise and focus it on a certain specific topic or their specialty. And so I really suggest you to stick around, to listen to the Creative Insider, and hope to see you on the workshop on the 21st December. This is very important. 21st December is a Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central European Time, Frankfurt time, or 1900 military time on the Central European Time, which is +1 the Greenwich meridian. So just remember this date. And thank you very much for listening to the Creative Insider. Stick around and stick around for the bonus episode, and I hope to be hearing from you next year, and you'll hear way more content and new guests, and it will be awesome. Thank you very much for the listens. You've been amazing, and see you on the 21st or next year. Bye bye.